Hello, welcome to Watch Along LUFC. I'm Gary, and this week we're going to be talking about Arsenal versus Leeds United from the Emirates. Match kicks off on Saturday at 3 p.m. from the Emirates. I'll be going live for the live watch along at 2 p.m. Join me there if you will. But let's get on now and have a little look at what lies ahead for Leeds this week. When you look at the previous history and form guide, you'll find that Leeds are quite inferior to Arsenal. However, over recent meetings I feel that we're getting closer to beating them. Leeds traditionally don't travel very well when we go to London, and certainly for this particular fixture we will be rated or ranked as the massive underdogs with absolutely no hope of picking up 3 points against a very good Arsenal side that sits atop of the Premier League at the moment. The last time we beat them was back in May 2003, and I'll just show you the team sheets for that particular fixture. I remember that game as well, and look at the quality of players that both teams had on their sides, and luckily we scraped that one with a 3-2 victory. Goals courtesy of Ian Hart, Harry Kewell and the Aussie destroyer himself, Mark Viduka. In that particular season, Leeds had actually fallen off a cliff. We had Peter Reid in charge of the team, and I believe that we finished in 15th position. Arsenal, on the other hand, will be hoping that this season they can go one better than they did in that particular season. And in that particular season, 2003-2004, they finished second with a total of 78 points, only pipped to the post by Manchester United with a total of 83 points. It's been almost 20 years since we've beaten Arsenal in the Premier League. The last 5 results are as follows. We lost against Arsenal at home. You'll recall that one. That's the most recent game on the 16th of October. 8th of May 2022. We lost again 2-1. The 18th of December 2021. Leeds versus Arsenal. We lost that one 4-1. And that was another good spanking by the Arsenal. 14th of February 2021, and we lost that game 4-2. So I think Leeds are overdue a win against Arsenal at the Emirates. I really do hope that we're going to go down there, but there are some issues from both teams following the international break, of course. Arsenal currently have 5 players out injured. They are Takahiro Tomiyasu, Eddie Nketiah, former Leeds loanee, of course, Thomas Partey, Mohamed Elneny and William Saliba. We'll talk about Tomiyasu first. He's due back in June, and he's out with a knee injury. Nketiah is an ankle/foot injury. They say, quote, "It could have been a lot worse, thank God. He's not in a bad place and he's recovering." Suspected that he's going to be ruled out for this match, thankfully. Thomas Partey is out, and he could well be appearing for Arsenal. He's had a small injury. They're not giving too much away about this one. Elneny is a knee injury. No return date slated for him or Saliba at this point in time. Saliba, incidentally, has a back injury. Status is he's ruled out, and assessments are ongoing about the nature and severity of that injury. As we know, the international break has been a bit of a disaster for Leeds. We've got 3 injury doubts as a result of that international break. Let's break it down and start with them and talk about them individually. Tyler Adams is slated to have a thigh injury. It looks like, according to the rumours that are going around online, he could be out for the remainder of the season. It certainly is showing him as being ruled out. Quote unquote, "In this moment he's with a specialist and we'll see how long it will take them. We have other players. All of us need to know that Tyler is a key player for us, but we have to manage with the squad that we have." Unquote. So it's not looking likely or not looking good for Tyler Adams, and that is a massive, massive blow for us. Any injury to any of the players who featured in the Wolverhampton Wanderers lineup is a big loss to us, but it does make room for Rocker, and hopefully there is speculation that Diaby could start. He's had a captain's performance for the under-19s, scoring a couple of goals and led the team to a great victory during the international break. A really good opportunity for him if Gracia does decide to start those two in the midfield roles that will be vacated. Woba is the other doubt. However, this one doesn't look as bad or sound as bad as what was initially made out by the national team. And I sometimes suspect that Leeds have lent on the players a little bit and said, go there, play your game, don't do anything silly, don't do anything stupid, and feign a little injury and try and get back to Thorpe Arch as soon as possible. So that's the situation with Woba. I hope that is the case. He'll be disappointed if Leeds are behaving that way, but we definitely need him in the middle of our back four. The other injury doubt that we have is Wilfred Gnonto, and it doesn't sound too great for Wilfred. It could be 50-50 whether he appears for us against Arsenal. It's looking like an ankle/foot injury. It says Gnonto is dealing with a sprain, and they hope that it's nothing serious. It sounds to me, again, similar situation to Woba, that perhaps the club have lent on him a little bit and said, Wilfred, go and feature for Italy, get yourself a cap, and then get back to Thorpe Arch as soon as you've done that, or as soon as you've got your 2 caps out of the way. Great. Stuart Dallas and Adam Forshaw are the other long-term doubts. Stuart Dallas apparently, though, is well on the road to recovery, I understand. He has been pictured in Northern Ireland, going to watch the Northern Irish team in their international games, and it's slated that he said he is well on the way to recovery. So hopefully let's get Stuart Dallas back on the bench. I hope that will give everybody else a little bit of a lift. I know the crowd will be absolutely delighted. Perhaps for our next home fixture, that would be great to see Stuart back in a Leeds shirt and hopefully appearing in the starting or finishing 11, as it may be. So how will Arsenal line up? Well, in the last game against Crystal Palace, they had Ben White playing on right back. Then the 2 centre-backs were Holding and Gabriel Zinchenko playing the left back. Odegaard, Partey and Xhaka in the middle of the park. Saka, Trossard and Martinelli up front. If we go toe-to-toe against Arsenal for football and try and match them, I think we're going to get beaten convincingly. We're going to have no choice but to keep it tight, allow them to have possession, park the bus, so to speak, and I think the main thing that we must watch is goals and try not to get absolutely hammered. This is always a fear of mine when we're playing a top team like Arsenal, that we're going to end up conceding 4, 5, 6 goals, sometimes with or without reply. Arteta's going to be on the watch out for Leeds, though, because he will have seen a very productive counter-attacking display against Wolverhampton Wanderers, and I imagine that it's in the back of his mind that Arsenal need to be very careful about getting caught, that Leeds could quite easily counter-attack them, providing we have the right personnel up front. I can see that Summerville will make an appearance for Leeds if Gnonto is injured. I can also see that Diaby would make his appearance in the middle of the park. I certainly think that we're going to need somebody big, strong, tall and athletic like him in the middle of the park in the absence of Tyler Adams. What are my predictions, or what are my guesses for this game? Well, I think that if we play it tight, allow Arsenal to have the possession, try and frustrate them, try and stop their chances, stop their passing, stop their supply into Saka, into Martinelli, the 2 top scorers for Arsenal, then we certainly have a chance. And believe it or not, I'm actually predicting a Leeds United win here, 2-1, and I think it's about time that we got 3 points out of Arsenal, especially at the Emirates. The last time we did that, as I said at the beginning, was when Arsenal were playing at Highbury. And you want to see more Leeds United content, you know what to do. Hit the subscribe button and press the bell. And I'll leave a little recommendation up here, or here, wherever it is, from YouTube. Perhaps you might want to go over there, watch that to support me, support the channel, and help me to continue making videos. Thanks so much for watching. See you there.